Hey there, welcome back to the channel, guys. So today I got the Umarex Notos out. So this weekend I had off, was doing some plinking, and I ran into a little issue. So as you can see, I got a bipod. I designed this bipod mount for the Umarex Notos. It was working great. Then yesterday I started having a little point impact shift. Man, what's going on? I checked the bolts. Their bolts are real tight, but I was, kind of moving the rifle around quite a bit. I even went through, I pulled my scope out, rechecked all my scope mounts, rechecked, I re-zeroed it, everything. And go shoot a few more times and just wrestling around with it on the bench. And every now and then I had point impact shift. What the heck's going on? So, to make a long story short, there's a flaw in the design. So, and I left the bolts loose right here so I can kind of exaggerate it. But what's happening when you got this on the table and I'm sitting there twisting, this is adjustable so I can move it. But I'd get it nice and snug. And when I would twist on the rifle every now and then, correct my, make my moves, uh, it would just move ever so slightly. And I'm going to exaggerate it here. I don't know if you can see this. I got the bolts loose right now. But it would move this ever so slightly that I'd have a point impact shift. So, needless to say, this picatinny mount, no bueno, no good. So that one there, no good. I mean, it fit great, bolted down, was nice and snug, but just me twisting on it, and it was enough to make that point of impact shift. I was shooting 25 yards, getting, inch, 2 inch point of impact shift. That's not good. So this right here, junk. Unfortunately, I did manage to sell. I did sell one online. I have reached out to that customer. I haven't heard back from him, but I've resolved it. So I spent most of my time yesterday evening, after I ran into this issue, designing a replacement. So I'm like, how can we resolve this? How can we resolve this? And I thought, well, maybe I can cut the profile, make it a little bit shorter, which I did. But then I started wondering, you know what? It's still going to be able to move, which if I cut it down low enough, well, I threw that one away. If I cut the top of it low enough, it's not going to move enough on the air tube to hit the barrel again. But again, that's like a half-ass fix. So what I came up with, instead of that single piece design that I had, guys, I came up with a two-piece design. And this two-piece design is a lot more secure. So what I did, this one's actually, man, the other one was a 35 millimeter. I don't have my ruler with me, and I forgot what the measurement. But this one, I'm gonna say is probably a 40 millimeter, or just a little bit longer than that. I'll have to go back. Anyways, but I designed this in a way that not only does it hug your air cylinder here, but it actually sits flat up against your main body of your air rifle, which resolves that twisting issue. Now, the only other downside is you no longer have the ability to put your bipod mount up and down that cylinder. It's going to be right here. But through my experience today, just shooting it in the backyard, it actually, for me, on with this particular style bipod, and I'll put it on here so you guys can see. It's my legs kicked out forward, which is usually how I run it on my Avenger too. It actually is not bad. It actually feels pretty good. All the weight's right on the center of this thing, and I'm able to manipulate this thing fairly easy right there. So, in my opinion, I think this is a much better fit, and where it's at, I think it's going to be way better. So, I'm going to do a quick install on this so you see how it goes. It's a little bit harder than the other one. I'm going to slid on, you snug your bolts up, you were good to go. This one, because it is a two-piece design, takes a little bit more work. So you got two halves. It can only go on one way because of the rectangular notch goes to the backside, guys. And what I'm going to do is let me shut that off. I'm going to bring this in a little closer so you guys can see how this goes. All right, this is a little bit better. Hopefully we can stay in focus throughout this entire process, guys. So again, it's a 2.5 millimeter Allen wrench. I got my Allen bolts and my nuts. You see one side has got round holes for your bolts to go through. The other side, it has the hex shape for your nuts. So the easiest way to do this, I'm going to go ahead and dump these out. I'm going to say would be to probably start with any one on the end. In this case, I can use this as the front one. Come on, get in there, guy. There we go. So with that in there, that's going to be on the front. This is going to go on there. That's going to go on the bottom like that. And I got my finger kind of holding that screw in place, or the nut, I'm sorry. I'm going to take that right there. Grab my Allen. Just with a little bit of pressure. Boom, that's it. Now it's a little bit easier. I can flip it around. Drop that bolt in. You see how that went in fairly easy? I can set it like that now. I'll put my finger in there to hold the nut in place. And just with just a little bit of pressure and twisting, should bite. There it goes. It did. Let's put our last one in. Come on. The fit on these is just right. You know what I mean? You don't have a whole lot of wiggle room in there, and you don't want that thing to be flopping around. And again, same thing. Let me move my hand so you can see it. You're going to hold that nut in place. You're going to get your Allen bolt. You're going to run that in. Okay, great. Make sure everything's nice and straight. Now remember, guys, this is 3D printed plastic material. There's no need to really torque on it. You're going to see all I'm going to use on this is finger pressure. So I got on there, just finger pressure. You don't have to get crazy on it, because the other thing is when you put your bipod on there, that's also going to provide a little clamping force on there. You just want it snug. That's it. It's snug. This thing, as you can see, got plenty of clearance from your air tube. Look on the bottom here. Still got a good fit and finish. And like I said, there's no wiggle room. Now we can go ahead and take our bipod, locate it on there. Boom. It's on. We are good to go. Now you're ready to do some more plinking. I'm still able to extend my legs if I need a little extra height. You know, if I want to go like this, yes, you can go like that. You're still able to shoot. That's loose right there. But again, yeah, that takes care of that. And like I said, wish I would have caught that sooner, but through trial and error, you know, I do use my stuff. Somehow that one avoided me. And I caught it yesterday. Fortunately, I already had listed it and sold one. But there we go, guys. I fixed it. I think with this right here, we are good to go. I am working on a handguard for this as well. I can show you the prototype that I have. Ooh, I apologize. Actually, we'll do that another time. But anyways, that's all I have right now. If you got any questions, you can, you know, message me down below. We're gonna. This is my first one. I got to print another one now. Get that one sent out to replace the one that already left. And hopefully everything works out real good, guys. Thanks for watching.